Hi, and welcome back to another AnyRPG Development Livestream. In these videos, I livestream the development of the AnyRPG Engine, a 100% free and open source role-playing game engine designed in Unity and written in C#. These videos are unscripted and give you a chance to take a behind-the-scenes look at the unfiltered, methodical side of software development. For more information on AnyRPG, be sure to check out AnyRPG.org, where you can find documentation on the engine, links to the full source code at the official GitHub repository, and downloadable versions of AnyRPG Alpha, a free game designed to showcase the features of the AnyRPG engine. If you'd like to see more of this type of content in the future, be sure to like the videos, subscribe to the Cohesion YouTube channel, or just leave a message in the comments telling me what you would like to see. In today's episode, we will be continuing what is hopefully our final cleanup of our Unity package. And there were a couple of things that I noted in the last episode that needed fixing. One of them was that when we imported our project, it didn't import the settings for like the controller and such, which are these things. I think no, it's like input. Yeah, these ones, the input axis. It also didn't import the scenes in the project either. So the other issue was that our character panel had some our character creator panel had like some black and white lines on it, like the grayscale ones rather than the colored ones. So I'd like to go through and just try to fix all of that stuff before we test another export. And I was looking around online, and I think I actually found finally how to export the package with the settings. So I found this post on the Unity forum that basically said we need to create an editor folder in the assets folder and then put this new C# script into it, and then that will result in a menu item that allows us to export the project settings, which hopefully includes like the build settings. So that may actually require a little bit of reworking of the way that the project is configured. So likely what I would have to do is basically pull out all of the alpha content into its own project. And that's actually something that I've kind of been wanting to do for a little while anyway. Up until now, the engine and the alpha content has all been in the same project just because they were sort of interdependent on each other. But now I've gotten to the point where the Unity package, it can be basically like its own thing. So we'll check how this export works here, and I think we may end up creating a new project just for the AnyRPG engine and then having alpha as its own thing. So let's get started on those changes. I think the first change I want to address is the character panel. So let's look at the character panel. That's actually the character creator panel. There, so we see the hair, eyebrows, and beard line up there. And I think it's called the hair label. Yeah, okay, so that's pretty easy to fix. Basically, we just have the wrong colors in here, and we're not referencing the highlight line. So the highlight image needs to get pulled into there, and actually we should do that for all of them. The eyebrows label needs its highlight line pulled into there, and the beard label needs its highlight line pulled into there. And let's see, in fact, we might not even want the highlight buttons on these, come to think of it. Because I don't think we actually click these. I don't think that they are clickable. So actually, you know what I might end up doing? What I might end up doing is just making a new script for those, because there's no button, right? Yeah, there's totally no button. Yeah, so these don't need a highlight button script. Okay. Instead, we're going to call it a colored highlight line script. So let's look for our other colored ones here, and we're going to choose colored divider line. Just duplicate that. Change that to colored highlight line. And double click on that to open it. Make sure the name matches here. And then we can look at the hair label right here, the eyebrows label right here, and the beard label right here. We're going to remove the highlight buttons from all of them because these aren't actually buttons and they're not clickable. Then we're going to select all the highlight lines here and set it to colored highlight line. And then these things should get the highlight color. And I might have to change it, override the method to make it a solid color. I just want to see what it looks like though. So then let's look at the color options here. And these ones actually are buttons. And it looks like they're probably properly configured. So let's save the project, and we're gonna press play and just load up one of our higher level characters here that already has unlocked the character creator. Okay, good. So let's go back to our default level, and we'll just go into the character creator here, and let's see, change name, that looks good, and bodymatic, so perfect. So now we've got proper colors on here rather than gray. Oh, interesting. It looks like the sex button we have to fix as well. In the meantime, let's go over here. That looks okay. Hair. I would like this hair one to actually have the highlight behind it when it's selected. And that's not happening right now. So I guess we got two things to fix basically. In fact, it wouldn't even be that bad if the appearance and colors and sex were selected. So let's go fix the sex button first. character creator panel. Alright, and wow, the sex button does not have its own prefab. We can fix that. We'll go into the engine under prefabs, under UI, under buttons, pull the sex button in there, make a prefab out of it, and we want to open that up, enable the highlight line, go up at the button level, pull the highlight button down into the button, the highlight line down into the highlight line, and then I know the colors are a little off, and I'll deal with that in a little bit here. I think we want to do the same thing for this button, the character creator colors button. So we're going to enable the highlight line. Okay, actually it looks like those already have their references. Okay, actually this is really good because we need to change the colors on the sex button. So these are the right colors, so we're just going to go paste that, copy this, paste it as the middle color, copy that, and paste that as the bottom color. And then because this is a highlight button, we don't need the event trigger, because if we look in the highlight button code, we've already got some code at the bottom here. And you can see we run the onHover sound automatically on onPointer enter. So first we're going to apply these to the prefabs. And then we're going to open this up, go to the button and remove the event trigger. We'll want to do that as well with the character creator button if it's not already done yet. Remove that. And then we can go to the character creator appearance button. We need to enable that, and then go down to the button and remove the event trigger. Okay, good. So that should allow us to actually have highlights for whatever is actually selected on the left hand side here. And then for the hair, skin, and eyes, I'd like to have those selectable as well. So under the color options, we have a character creator hair button. We'll want to enable the highlight line here and just make sure that the button and highlight line have references, and they do. Same thing for the skin button. Just go in, enable the highlight line, make sure the reference is okay, they're fine. And then for the eyes button, enable the highlight line and look at the references. The references are wrong here. We want highlight line right there, and the button is okay. Just going back. Okay, yeah, the other ones look fine. That's good, and I don't know if I've checked the male button and female buttons yet, but they look okay. Yeah, because it's just it's a variant of another type of button. Good, so hopefully that gets everything in the character creator panel. Let's jump into the game and test that out. deal with the loading bar in a sec here. So anyway, play, load game, and go grab that game, run back to check out our character creator. Let's actually just save this right here. Just checking to make sure all those things are working. All right. So, the highlight buttons, the highlights behind those are looking like they're still gray. So, I mean, the good news is that we've got the right colors now. So if I go colors, the buttons are not deselecting, I don't think. Right, and that is likely something to do with the base color. So yeah, I think I know what's wrong there, basically. If we look right, if we look at the highlight buttons, let's go onto the character panel. Some buttons we actually want to have a background by default, and some we don't. So we don't want to do all of them like this, but basically, whoops, character creator panel. So on the character creator panel, character creator panel, there we go. We want the base color on all of the buttons to be black. So this base color, oops, you know what, we can accomplish the same thing by full transparency, I think. You know what, no, we're just going to go with black. And then we'll want to apply that to the prefabs. Okay, and I think we'll want to do that for the other buttons as well. So, oh no, never mind, the hair labels are fine. We want the buttons on the other side, so the main options right here. Right, and this we want to do black. This we want to do black. And the sex button we want to do black as well. Okay, and now let's run the game again. And hopefully this time we'll see the buttons black when we look at them. No. Huh. Interesting. Okay. I forgot to apply. Okay, let's just look at the highlight button code. Because basically the highlight button should just go ahead and deselect itself on awake. So the highlight image.color becomes base color. And that's the base color. So it's like almost like that code isn't being run. Okay. Well, let's try saving that again. And let's load the game. And let's see here. Okay, well, let's take a look at those buttons in the scene view here. And oh, whoops, sex, there we go, sex button. So the sex button has a base color right now. But the highlight line's color didn't have it applied to it. So that's really odd. I feel like it's time to start running debug messages because I don't see any obvious reason for that not to have worked. And we'll put that in the awake method as well, I guess. And that should be it. So let's see if it's running now. Play, load game, load that. Just gonna park him like even a little closer to this. And let's go look at our console. So according to this, our sex button ran its deselect code. have to choose use highlight color. Yeah, of course. Okay. So we can go do that then. Oh, I'm in the wrong Unity here. Okay. So basically what we want to do then is go into our character creator panel and all of these buttons need to have that box checked. Actually, I might, like, in the future just sort of have that option as the default option, because I'm trying to think of an instance in which you wouldn't want that. For now, though, we'll just keep it there. Okay, there. So that's a little better. Let's just try loading the game now and make sure that all works. Okay, better. Appearance is selected. It looks selected, none of the other ones do. Colors properly selected, hair selected, skin selected, eyes selected, sex, male, female. Right, I need to go fix the male female buttons. I think the reason that's gray in the background is also because I don't have use highlight color selected. So no, I do. No, I want to use it up there as well. We'll apply that as an override in the male button. The female button, so the base color on these needs to be black. Alright, that looks good, and we'll want to apply that as an override to both of those buttons. I'm going to open up the female button and just choose Unpack Prefab. Go back in there because I noticed that the female button was like a copy of the male button, and I don't like having like these nested buttons when there's no reason for it. So that looks okay. Let's jump back into the game and just make sure that the male and female buttons are okay. Actually, and you know, there's one other thing that's kind of bugging me, and that is that our example body Matic 2000 here, it's on the default layer and it needs to be on the spell effects layer. Let's actually open the prefab and just see, yeah, the entire thing, spell effects layer. And yes, change children, and that's good. So basically, anything that's on the default layer is considered walkable. So since our character creator is something we're supposed to walk inside of, we can't have it on the default layer, or our character will try to walk over top of it. So let's go load game. Okay, good. See, now we just walk straight in the way we're supposed to. And wow, that's kind of interesting. I think maybe our sex buttons don't have a reference to something. We'll figure out what that is, and then we'll fix that null reference, because improperly configured things shouldn't be able to crash our game. So character creator panel, open the prefab. Odd. Let's figure out what they're not referencing. Female deselect. So, well, that's odd. When we unpacked the female button, apparently it caused our character creator panel to lose the reference to it. Okay, whatever, that's fixed. So file, save. Like, I mean, I suppose it's kind of dumb, but anyway, I guess apparently like those, since they can be null, we should put a null check around them. So if male button does not equal null, and if female button does not equal null, okay, so that solves both the configuration and the code issues there. And I guess we can save. Okay, now we're okay, I think. Oh yeah, this is that Unity inspector window. See, this I totally don't get. This right here is coming because we have that second inspector open. That's why I keep on closing the inspectors, even though it's a giant pain to open and close them continuously if you have to have two of them open, but it prevents this from happening. So let's close all this stuff down. Okay, good. And save one more time just for good measure. Play the game, play, load game, grab our character, load him up, run into the panel there, go to the sex options, there we go, male is selected. Wow. So when we unpacked the prefab, it also decided to go and lose all its settings and overwrite them on us. That was definitely a violation of the principle of least astonishment. I don't know what it decided that was a good idea for. So anyway, we need to go back into the female button. And this is what I hate about prefab variants, really. They're so useless because they, like, dumb stuff like this happens all the time, and this is why I don't like using them at all. I'm just gonna unpack it completely because, like, you'll notice I don't use prefab variants. Why? They're useless. They're a waste of time. And, like, I use it in the game manager, but like anywhere else in the game where I can avoid using them, I don't like to use them, because when they do stuff like this, I one time had like some Unity bug with a prefab variant delete all of my settings in almost all of my prefabs in the entire project, and then I had to spend literally like 10 hours going through and fixing it. So thumbs down for prefab variant bugs. Anyway, now we've got a female button here, and we can go in and we can change that text to female, and then we're gonna apply that to that, and I'm going to select that and rename that because we don't want it to say variant, because it's no longer a variant. let's try that again. Example, load game manager, play, load game, sex, male, nothing's happened with female. You know what I bet happened? I bet not only did it delete the name, I bet it also deleted the button association, like for the onClick method. So let's character create or panel. Yeah, there we go. Open the prefab. And I bet my button lost its onClick method. Look at that. It totally lost its onClick method. See, the mail button still has it fine. Character creator panel.setMale. We'll go into the female button here. Character creator panel dot set female. Okay, that's good. And apply to prefab female button. Apply array. And apply to prefab male button. Apply array. Okay, that's a little better, hopefully. So let's save that. And you know what else I want to do? I want to start, let's just remove some of the spam from our logs here. Do a little bit of cleanup there as well. Let's see, I think waiting for it to compile, I guess. And okay, yeah, that was all we needed to do. Alright, so let's see, what do we want to do now? We want to jump back into the game and try to make sure that that works. Play, load game, load up our player, run into the Bodymatic, click on the sex buttons. There we go. Now it's working. Right on. Sex is highlighted, female is highlighted. We got a girl showing up on screen there. We can click on male. We get our male back. It's properly highlighted. This looks good. We get only the outline when we hover over it. Same thing for the other ones. We can click on colors, only the outline when we hover them. Click on them, we get a background. Awesome. Everything is working good. So, make sure those changes took effect. Yeah, we got our bum's beard. Awesome. I'm happy with that. So, what we want to do then is, let's not forget to go make a commit to that. See, yeah, we got a bunch of stuff there. Okay, so this stuff was all in the name of fixing the colors. Complete color customizable elements code, and push that up. And we're going to make some more changes here too, and I'll just demonstrate that. So one of the things that I was reminded of recently was, let's see if I can find a really good example here. I have some material transparency here. Yeah, there we go. So on our transparent material, we got a list of shaders, and I was going through recently, and we've got like this standard stuff here, and then I realized we've also like I was kind of ranting a little bit about people making shaders, calling them standard, because we actually had a couple people who had like a standard double-sided in our package here, and I found you could actually get this check mark appearing beside multiple items at the same time, which shouldn't be possible. And you can see when things are done well here, then we've basically got submenus and everything's in their own submenu. And although I'm not producing any shaders, I am allowing the creation of objects here, scriptable objects. And I didn't put them under their own menu, so I'm kind of violating my own rule, and I've really got no right to rant about other people not putting stuff under submenus when I totally haven't been doing it myself. So I want to go through and fix that, because I went and put like my project inside a namespace, so it's not going to interfere with anything else if people are importing things with the same script names in different namespaces. And now I want to go do that for all the items and stuff too. So we need our item class, which is right here. And you can see we've got menu name equals. So what I actually want to do here is find all instances of that anywhere in our project. So this basically gives us a list of all scriptable objects. And if we look, they're all in the engine folder, with the exception of these two UMA ones. So what we want to do is basically just do that at the beginning of all of them. And then that will ensure, and you know what I think I'm going to do here. Since technically, let's do actually a case sensitive search. I'm just going to remove that because I think I can actually do this, like manage it a lot quicker with like a search and replace type thing. So let's do Control Shift F, and this time I'm going to match case on that. And I think it's only going to come up with my stuff now. Yeah, engine, perfect. So menu name equals, replacing files, menu name equals AnyRPG slash, match the case, don't use regular expressions, entire solution, keep all modified files open, sure, replace all. 41 occurrences replaced, which matches our 41 matching files. Good. So now I'm just going to save all on all those, and basically every single AnyRPG item should now be under its own submenu. So let's just check that. Create AnyRPG. Awesome. No longer will we be creating giant menus for people with things that are going to confuse them. Well, I mean, they could get confused by this, but not for the reason of like, where'd all this stuff on my menu come from? Now they know it's all related to AnyRPG, so that's good. And I actually want to commit like just that as its own commit because we just changed 41 files. That was a little bit. So git status, yeah. And this is just going to be add any RPG prefix to scriptable object, create menu options, and let's just push all that up. Okay, great. So that was thing number 2 that I wanted to do in this video, and thing number 3 was to do with this stuff right here. So let's grab that code. I believe already, do we have an editor folder in the assets folder? Let's go find out. We don't. I want to see, do I have any editor folders? Yeah, see fewer notifications, thanks. Where are these editor folders? I wonder, like, I think you can just put an editor folder anywhere. I don't think it needs to be right in the root of the assets folder. But let's see. We'll try it the way that it says in that forum post. AnyRPG export. Yeah, sure, why not? And Unity Engine and Unity Editor are the only 2 things we need in there. Okay. And Control A, K, F, fix formatting. Oh, you know what? I bet you these names need to be very, very specific. I bet you this is like, yeah, let's just name them exactly how he named them here. So export package.cs. I'm just going to do that. And then I can just copy in like the entire thing exactly like it is right there. Whoa, what happened there? How did... Whoa, what the heck? I didn't duplicate anything. What is going on? That was weird. Okay. Alright, Control A, Control V, maybe Control A, K, F. Yeah, formatting's fine. Okay. So save that, and this is where I'm going to do like AnyRPG export. We'll call it full export because it doesn't need to be called my export. So let's see. Okay. So now, I don't know, let's find out if that does anything. If I grab engine and example, we've got the script now. Menu item. All right. Well, which menu is it supposed to be on? Like, I guess it's not this menu, because there's no export submenu there, because this would be like a create. Okay, this is create asset menu, and this is something totally different. This is menu item. Oh, there it is right there. It's at the top. Okay, good. Let's try that then. So what happens if does it make a difference if I click on this? I think it's just going to do its thing no matter what. So let's try that. Export, full export. I think it's doing something because the window's frozen up and it won't move. It's one of the fun things about Unity is half the time you have to sort of guess if it's doing something because it doesn't let you know. It just sort of freezes up and you just got to try to like, okay, can I drag the window around? No. Okay, well it must be doing something. Or you got to sort of like load up your task manager and be like, is the Unity editor actually taking up any CPU? Like 2.6%. Wow. But apparently it's still like really inefficiently doing something. You'd figure if it had completely frozen up the UI that it would at least be taking up a reasonable amount of CPU. Like, you know, more than... Okay, well, is it now? Nope. Weird. Looks like my anti-malware is actually taking up most of stuff right now. Do you know what I wonder? I wonder if this is what all those Unity freeze-ups are about. The anti-malware service executable. I bet you that I have to maybe go in and quarantine my Unity project directories. That's kind of interesting. That would just be really hilarious if that's like the cause of the slowdown on this stuff here. Where is that going to be? System and security? Where are we here? Let's see. This looks like a good time to Google Windows 10 exclude folder from virus scan. Okay, manage settings, add or remove exclusions. Does that option even exist? Virus and threat protection, manage settings. Manage settings there. Okay, and exclusions. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we have removed that. Yeah, that's not needed. We want to add a folder here. So where are we? Users and documents and Unity projects. Okay. I mean, I suppose that might be a little bit of a bad thing if a package from the Unity Asset Store had a virus in it, but hopefully they get like unzipped to somewhere safe on import. But I seriously wonder if that's the reason why. Wow. Are we, Unity is like, hmm. I wonder if that takes effect right away, or if I have to like reboot my computer or something. Because like, man, that's taking a long time. Okay, well, I mean, at least in the bottom we have like a little green status bar here, although there's nothing on screen per se. Windows thinks Unity is not responding, which is definitely true. Probably because it's using like, I mean, synchronous file access. I don't know that there's any way you can get around necessarily synchronous file access, especially if that silly Windows malware protection is scanning every single file in your project as you're trying to load it. Hmm. Okay, well, we're still waiting here. Wow, that is taking an insanely long amount of time. Do you know what I think it's doing? I think it really is. I think, I suspect anyway, that the export option that I tried to use here is gonna go scan the content from everything, and like there's like 40 gigs of stuff in here. So I think what I'm gonna do actually, because this is really just gonna take forever, I think I'm gonna go like fix this up offline, and then play around with the exports, maybe pull some of the package content out and all this stuff, because it's gonna take, I think, a couple of hours to do. I gotta reboot my computer as well. I want to make sure that those directories aren't getting tied up by the anti-malware service while I'm trying to export stuff. So yeah, I think that's it for this stream. Thanks for joining as always, and if you like this type of content or you want to see more of this in the future, then feel free to subscribe to the Cohesion YouTube channel, thumbs up the videos, or just leave a message in the comments telling me what you'd like to see. Until next time.